Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We're back in Captain of Industry. This time it's beta time. Down in the bottom right, you can see I'm playing beta version 0.3.0. This just came out this morning as I record. Let's jump in with a new game. We've got a few different map choices here. We saw these on the Captain of Industry website. And I had a poll on the Glidercat channel to see which map you guys wanted to see played. And unsurprisingly, you've chosen You Shall Not Pass. So we'll go with that. You can see all the resources available to us on this map. 2,400,000, 22.4 million, basically, coal. Look at all that. Tons of resource. As an experimental map to test your skills, the start location is in a very small and constrained valley, and while you have huge amounts of resources, you need to reach the top plateau before you run out of coal and wood. After reaching the top, you are rewarded with a large area for building a vast factory so you can utilize all of the resources available to you. The map is for experts only. We're going to give it a try. Let's see, resource size standard, resource elevation 0, forest size standard, cliff height standard, all fine. We're just going to leave the defaults. And now we have choice of difficulty. We've got Sailor, Captain, and Admiral. Just take a quick look at these. You can pause if you want to read all the details. Boom, there's Captain. There's Admiral, which is quite a bit harder, I imagine. I'm just going to go with Captain, actually. Kind of all default standard stuff. Let's launch a new game and jump in. All right, we are in. Looks like the game's already paused. Let's read through the intro stuff again. It says, Captain, we have just docked. Our ship and the local shipyard will both need major repairs. The abandoned communication station near the dock could be deconstructed and used to smelt iron in a blast furnace so we can build more vehicles and construction parts. It is essential to build a research lab as soon as possible so we can figure out more blueprints for important things such as farms or a beacon. A friendly village you can trade with is nearby. Check the world map. Trading can be a lifesaver if you run into a shortage of critical products. So you should research and build a trading dock as soon as possible. Okay, it looks like we're not going to be able to trade with that island until we build the trading dock. All right, dismiss that. I'm going to hit pause. Let's take a look at our map here. We've got a challenge ahead of us. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the overlays. And then I'm going to go into screenshot mode, which is like the F11 key here. And that'll allow me to zoom back at least a little bit. I can't zoom out quite as much as I'd like. But let's take a look and see what we're up against here. Here is our initial little settlement. There's our set of trucks. There is the communication tower that's going to supply us some iron. I can't really click on anything here in the screenshot mode. Looks like we've got a huge deposit of, I think that's the limestone. Is that all the same thing? I think it is. Yeah. Limestone, and then obviously a sandy beach in front. More sand off here to the right. The map I noticed has 3 underground water reservoirs. 1, 2, 3. It seems like that's not a ton. I think the alpha map had 4. So we'll have to be cognizant of water and desalination and all that kind of good stuff. We've got what I believe this is a huge deposit of gold here off to the left. In our starting area, we've got a little bit of coal. It looks like we can get to that right from the level that we're on. Just chew straight into this this little hill here. And then we've also got access to iron over here on the left. And it looks like we have access to copper here. If not, we can get up on this tier. It looks like pretty darn easy. And get access to this copper. And then we've got our little tiny oil deposit here. I'm interested to see how much oil we've got there. But we'll see. Let's see. Other things on the island to look at. There's really only like one major deposit of each resource with the exception of the coal here. We've got a second huge deposit, looks like kind of at the back of the island. That is island. Now let me get out of this mode. I'm going to turn off the overlays, go back to this mode, and let's look at what our challenge is going to be. So they said in the map description that one of the big challenges, or the major challenge, is getting up to this top tier of the island. before you run out of wood and I imagine it's wood, fuel, and coal. Seems like we have a decent supply of coal. And wood looks good too. Space is going to be a challenge to build on. We'll see. We need farms, we need factories, we need to expand the civilization or our village here before we kind of get up to the mountain, get up to this layer. Now, let's think a little bit about how are we going to get up to this top tier of the island. I was looking around the map, and what I'm thinking is ramping up to it, and rather than carving through the mountain, just building a ramp with fill, with backfill, you know, stone or whatever, and slag, all that waste material. And I was looking around this ring of kind of rocky mountains here, trying to find out where is the best place to kind of come up or try to ramp up, get to this tier. And one candidate that I found, that I think is a candidate at least, is over here. This little spot right here seems to be like maybe a candidate because we won't have to kind of ramp over these high hills. There's like a low area right here. It seems almost made for it. If we could find a way to ramp up this way, that might be the way to access this top tier, at least initially. And then over time, we may figure out we need to do, you know, more leveling and stuff and have more ways up to the top tier. But that seems like a good candidate for a first try of getting up here. And again, I'm thinking we would actually just ramp up there with backfill rather than try and carve through and build a ramp with excavators. Thinking we'll do it with dump trucks. Maybe try to get up there. Now, if we go out of screenshot mode, put the overlays back on, we can actually do that without impacting our coal operation here. We'll have to see once we get the mining designations and the backfill designations what the grid's going to allow us to do. But it might be something where we go up this way and then come across or something. We will see. What else before we get started building? What else do we want to think about? I guess we just need to clear a path to the oil reserves here. So we'll prioritize marking trees, I guess, in a way that kind of makes some logical sense. But let's get to building here. Let's see what we want to do first. They mentioned possibly building the trading dock so that we can trade. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, okay. The maps are different. Actually, I did so there's some random generation or there's some custom generation that happens. I looked at the map just before firing up this video, and our little village was over here. So I guess there is some difference playthrough to playthrough. Let's see what we can do at the settlement once we do build a trading dock. We can trade wood for concrete slabs. Not crazy about getting rid of wood. I think in beta that is still a limited resource, but we'll see. They may have reduced the number of things that use wood. I'm not sure. I know the construction part 1 recipe has changed. Maybe it doesn't need wood anymore. We'll find out as we go. So we got wood for concrete slabs, construction part 1s for copper, diesel for coal. That seems to be the most compelling once we get offshore oil rigs going and we have kind of a limitless supply of diesel. That might make sense if we start running low on coal. Wood for more scrap. I guess if we get desperate, that's an option. And that's kind of, yeah, that's potentially an option. We've got iron, huge iron deposits. And then iron for rubber. I don't see us doing this unless we are starved out on being able to make vehicles or something before we get our, chemical processes up and running and we're producing tons of rubber. So that's what we've got for the settlement. And then we've got, looks like 4 nodes that we can go explore once we repair the ship. We can't look at the tech tree yet until we build the research lab. I think that's one of the things they wanted us to do. Let's turn off the overlays. Yeah, they want us to build a research lab and then get to work tearing apart this old communication station. Let's see. what to build first here. That's, oh yeah, that's how we make coal early on with the coal maker. Blast furnace, metal caster, we'll be getting to those. Looking for the research lab to see if we have materials to even build this right off. We do. So we've got 360 construction part ones. I think this is worth doing right away. And I don't think this guy takes any kind of inputs. I wonder if we should just burrow this thing off in some unusable corner. We may try that. Aside from getting it built, I don't know that there's anything. Or we could even put this out in the sand, right? Will it take it? I bet there may be some spots that are flat enough. No? I thought I could build on the sand in the alpha map. Could build it right there. And then we could always move it later. Like I said, I don't think this thing takes regular delivery of resources. Might make sense to get this thing out of the way. Maybe not that far out of the way. Let's see. Is there any other semi-level spot? Oop, there was. Around here, the message disappeared. Where was it? All right, skip ahead 20 minutes in the video if you don't want to see this. Where is the flat spot? There's got to be one around here. Come on. This may not be the best strategy, but I'm trying to save some space. There we go. Boom. I got to unpause probably to place it, maybe. No, it should place. Why is that not placing? Boom. There we go. All right, our first building. Out of the way, but again, don't think, I mean, that could be a good spot for that. Let's get smelting going as well. We need a blast furnace, and I believe the ratios are going to be the same here. Let me just double check. Every 20 seconds, we get 8. And this guy, every 40 seconds, takes 8. So where is our little dial to convert everything to 60 seconds? That would be nice. Looks like it's going to be 2 to 1, 2 metal casters for every 1 blast furnace. And the blast furnace is going to want coal. We don't have the ability to mine coal yet, so we're going to need to start with a charcoal burner. Where do we want to do this? I guess we turn on the overlay. There's nothing over here. We're not going to be doing any work near these rocks for a while. Maybe that's not a horrible place. I guess the other contender is eventually this smelting operation is not going to work off of this little tiny tower. It's going to work off of this huge deposit of iron. So you might make sense to build this over there. You're going to chew up a lot of diesel in the process, though, hauling this scrap iron over. They've put it really far away from our iron deposit. But we don't want to build this twice. Kind of thinking it needs to be out here. If trucks can even get to that, that's the only thing. Can trucks get through? It doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Let's hold off on that. I'm going to turn, well, I'll leave the overlay on for a second. What I'm thinking through now is, should we mark off some trees and just verify if trucks are going to be able to get through here? For example, if I mark these trees over here for deletion or for harvesting, and that's all I do, I set one of my trucks here to tree harvesting, and I unpause. Let's see if they can even make it over there, or if we've got to burrow through these trees before we can even get at this iron deposit. We kind of would like to have our iron smelting operation near the 3 million, 3 million tons of iron deposit, and not the, 12 chunks of communications tower. Let's go and unpause. Let's see if that truck can make it. Doesn't look like it. He cannot reach the destination. Let's see what that truck can reach. Can it at least get to this row of trees? Mark some of this off. Can you get there? He can. All right, so we know we need to burrow through this. Where is he going to drop off those trees? Do we have storage? Do I not have any storage? Doesn't look like I've got storage yet, right? Research lab, smokestack. Oh man, bummer. Okay, new message. The research lab is ready. I'm going to pause. Let's go ahead and read it. Congratulations on the first research lab, Captain. You should research and build farms before the food supply runs out. Make sure you build them soon enough, as it takes time to grow more food. Before you run out of workers, make sure to bring more people to your island by building a beacon. Refugees who find us via the beacon will also bring valuable resources with them. Also, keep an eye on the supply of construction parts and assembly manual to produce them, or build the assembly manual to produce them. If you need to speed up your research, you can build more research labs, but don't forget that running them costs Unity. Unity is a naturally generated in settlements when the people are well and happy, but can decrease when their needs are not met. You can visit the settlement to see the details, right? Good enough? So we got our research lab here out on the beach. Be a cool location in real life to work out on the beach. Let's take a look at the tack tree. Oh man, I'm going to spend some time probably off camera while looking at this. Looking at this in depth. Look at this tack tree. Oh man, looks like we still got to wait for the rocket assembly stuff until the maybe EA, the early access release. But boy, we've got a bunch to do here. Oh man. All right, let's see what we get to build first. What we've got. Iron smelting from scrap is a technology we get at the start of the game. Kind of like storage. Where does that come in? I don't even see it. Is it? Oops, did I just scroll past it? There's basic storage there for loose storage. So let's see what we've got to choose from here. We've got vehicles and mining. That sounds promising. Farming, that's pretty darn essential. We probably need to do that first. They kind of hinted that that's what we need to do first. So let's do it. And then we can queue these up, actually. I don't think I took advantage of that last time. After basic farming, what might we want to do? Construction is probably key. We need construction parts. That's going to take iron, which hopefully will be producing wood, concrete slabs. We probably have some on us. But does that mean we should do concrete first? We may have to trade for concrete slabs actually early on. There's the trading dock. I guess, Construction parts take iron, which we can do now. We can produce iron now. We can get wood now. Concrete slabs, I'm a little nervous about. How many do we have? Did they give us any? Let's look at our stock here, I guess. Do we have any concrete slabs? We don't. That's kind of strange. We've got 330 construction parts to get us by. Little nervous about that. I wonder if that means we should build this trading dock first. The trading dock, that's going to allow us to get concrete from wood if we need it, right? So that's not a bad thing early game, I suppose. We'll be producing iron. We could get, we could even get more metal scrap. Maybe we do the trading dock. Seems counterintuitive. Do that second. These are all quick to research, though. Hit do it and get it out of the way. Mining is obviously essential. Iron ore and coal. Boy. Let's do the trading dock next. Boom. And then do mining, actually. Boom. in that construction. How's that sound? I think I'm doing construction last because worst case we could use the trading dock and get some construction parts, I think. Is that right? Let's take a look. Boom, boom. No, we can't get construction parts from this. We can sell them, we can't get them. Anyway, let's go with that. We'll see. It may not be the most ideal, but I think it'll do. And what do we need to do now? Let's let it play and see if we can clear out some of these trees. I'd love to get our... Oh, look where he's at. Okay, so he was able to get through all the way over there. So in theory, he's got nowhere to deliver. In theory, trucks should be able to get over here. I'm wondering if that's where we should put our iron mine. Okay, let me get out of this. Our iron smelting. Maybe we do it. Maybe we just take a chance. I guess we can build one building and see if it gets built. How do we want to do this? Let's put the overlay on. And try not to get too much directly in the way of where our mine is. What about... I guess we're just going to chew through that hill. We're still going to dig down later, but... Let's see. Last furnace. Zoom on in here. Molten metal comes out. We want to feed 2 metal casters. We're going to go with just one of these for a good long time, most likely. Coal input off to the left. I'm not sure what else that is. I can't really read that. I don't know if that's scrap metal or iron, I guess. Okay, let's just pull the trigger. Boom. And get a couple metal casters here going. What do we want to do? This molten metal on that side. We can keep this fair. We kind of need to be fairly condensed here on the design, I think. How about, man, I could almost just boom. Do we have, before I place that, do we have molten channels under transports? Yeah, we do. I gotta leave room for the exhaust to vent out. Let's put that down maybe first. That is here. I'll plunk that thing down right there. That takes a normal pipe. Let's connect that up. Boom, boom. Not like you, that. How about like that? That looks a little better. Metal casters. Just wanted to see how much room we have. We got to go. I'm going to try and go fairly compact with this. We are paused. I think I can delete and get my resources back if I need to. And I think one channel should be able to feed both of these. Or we could do it up a little, down a little. I want to try and conserve resources if I can. How about... Oh, no. Do we have slag output? We have... Is this output? This is output, right? So I got to leave room for this guy to get out. I think that might be the slag or whatever, the waste material. Doesn't show it. I think that is that. So we may have to come back a little bit. Just got to be a little more space conscious than I was in the previous seasons because we don't have a whole lot of area here. All right, let's do that. Another one right next to it. Will you go there? Yeah, it looks like it. Boom. We can start with one of these on pause. In fact, let's do this on pause. And see if we can't get them to prioritize what we want built first. Molten channel time. You to you. You. Like that. That's all good. What are we missing? We're going to need charcoal. Until we get mining, we're going to need a charcoal burner. Coal maker. This guy's got some exhaust. C. Try and be somewhat space conscious here. Not super concerned that we're able to belt the coal straight in, because this is a temporary kind of building. I don't mind if trucks have to pick it up. Save on construction. In fact, I could totally cut that off, couldn't I? What if we do something like that? Save ourselves some construction materials. We'll have to deliver the coal, but it's a short trip. I'm going with it. In fact, we might want that one built first. Let's put this on pause. We're going to be I'm probably going to be fairly meticulous on what gets built when, because this is going to be a really challenging map. I believe it may turn out not to be that bad actually, but we'll see. So that's our charcoal. Going to feed there. Boom, boom, boom. Turn it into whatever plates. But we got to haul this guy. Let's start recycling. What is this? Oh, we get some concrete slabs out of this. Okay. Okay. That is nice. So remember, we looked at the inventory and we saw there were no concrete slabs. Looks like we'll get at least 400 out of this abandoned communication station. That's going to help. Does that change anything that we would do here in the tech tree? Probably not. We got farming first. Trading dock. Maybe we would. It's only one thing. Not overthink it. It doesn't. I don't think these take very long to research. All right, let me hit play. Let's let something happen here. That is the start of that. Research is going. Farms are going to be first, but we got to wait for the research to complete. Should be fairly quick. What else do we have that we can build? Nothing. Some plants. Oh, we can mark more trees. Do we want to do that? Kind of like what we've got selected. Guy's got a full load with nowhere to take it. Looks like these guys are bringing construction parts so they can get through this mess. We're going to go through a lot of diesel. All right, new tutorial logistics. I'll go ahead and pause. Let's read through that. Oh boy. Okay. Two main ways to transport products, trucks and transports. Trucks are the most versatile way to transport products around the island. However, for periodic deliveries, it's better to build dedicated pipes or conveyor belts. Otherwise, your trucks can get easily overwhelmed and you burn through diesel. You can see and maintenance. You can see the current load on your logistics system in the overview panel on the top left of the screen. That's this guy. We're up here. Most of the transports can go up, down by pressing the E and Q keys during their design process. This is handy trying to make space for vehicles to go under. Trucks can go under any transports that are at height 2 or higher. However, other vehicles such as excavators cannot go under a transport. In order to let them pass transports, you can build a vehicle ramp. It takes up a lot of ground space, these ramps. I haven't used them yet. You can also split and merge transports by just simply connecting them to each other. If you need control over priorities and ratios, you should research and use dedicated balancing units. Yeah, we saw a lot of that in last season. Pro tip, Click on the red-green arrow next to a machine port to automatically select the corresponding transport for placement. I'll have to remember to do that. Sometimes I remember, most of the times I don't. So we don't need to go in and pick transports all the time. I can just click on the green arrow and it'll pick the right one. Trucks and storages. Oh, let's see here. Note that some products like molten materials or gases such as steam can't be loaded onto trucks and they require a transport. Okay, makes sense. Trucks automatically prioritize their deliveries. Trucks deliver to storages when some other machine or vehicle needs to get rid of a product at high priority, and there's no other machine that really needs such a product. Okay. To override this default behavior, you can drag the green slider in a storage to the right to keep the storage full, or drag the red slider to the left to keep the storage empty. For example, dumping slag out. All right, that's fine. We didn't make too much use of that last season. There are a couple applications that I kind of liked of that. We'll see that as we play on. Both of these principles are illustrated in the image of the iron smelting chain below. Got it. So they've got loose storage for, looks like iron and coal. And they've got it set to like, hey, always deliver a bunch of resource to my loose storages. Don't send it straight to the smelter, I guess. And then this guy is saying, what is this one? This is the slag. So this is saying, hey, keep this empty if you can. You know, keep it. If it starts building up even a little, start emptying out the slag and dumping it. It says sliders have no effect on connected transport. Sliders have no effect on connected transports. Okay, that's fine. Once machines are connected via transports, and a first product is delivered or received, the trucks will no longer try to deliver and receive that type of product and let the transports do the job. I think there is a workaround for that. That's basically saying once you've hooked up a transport here, trucks aren't going to try to take from this loose storage and bring it to the blast furnace here because there's already a transport in place. But I believe you can actually set that so it will, so that trucks are permitted to do that if you want it. You want that. And I don't know why you would, but all right. So there's our little tutorial on transports. Let's let this thing play and see what's going on. They should be focused on building our charcoal or a coal maker. I'm going to keep calling it charcoal the whole playthrough. Sorry about that. That's how I think of it from not just this game, but many others. All right. Now our little wood guy, our wood truck is able to dump off product. Let's unpause the blast furnace so we can get that built. Look at that. We're starting to produce our first products already and produce our first pollution. So that's kind of something to celebrate. Very cool. Let's see. We're moving along. Farming is about 3/4 of the way done, getting there, 2/3 maybe. This guy's got a place to put his trees. Happy about that. Maybe that's not the place to mark them though, right? Let's unmark those. And maybe shoot for kind of optimizing throughput through the island. Maybe this is a better patch to chew through. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of thinking this can go too. All right, these guys are waiting for something. No jobs, nothing to do. What is this waiting on? 60 construction parts. We've got them. We have what we need. Soon after this, what do we get? Research complete basic farming. I'm going to pause. It's going to be kind of a common thing here, especially in this playthrough. Is pausing. We don't care about this. We've got more research selected. We're fine. Escape out of that. I thought there was a little tutorial or something. Let's unpause, keep things moving. And let's think about farms. The very first playthrough of Captain of Industry, my little community starved out. And I have not been able to sleep all the way through my nights without having recurring nightmares of how I starved out my colony. So we need to get a farm farm or two going. I hate to block the area in front of the docks. We'll probably move these farms as time goes on. But let's get at least something placed here. These will likely move. We'll start with one. Okay, new tutorial, iron smelting. Let's look at that, and then we'll probably call it an episode. Boom, new tutorial. Iron smelting. The blast furnace allows smelting ores, scrap. Ooh, gotta make sure, before we even read through that, let me make sure I picked the right recipe here on our furnace. Okay, it did by default. It gave us the metal scrap recipe. That's cool. Let's unpause the rest of our construction, and then we'll read through that tutorial. So we'll turn on these guys. In fact, are we already working on this? No, we got to bring some scrap over. They should be doing that. We should be harvesting this, right? Yeah, it looks like they are. Waiting for materials removal. See, it's at 1%. All right, back to that little tutorial message. Okay, the blast furnace allows smelting ores, scrap, or other products into molten materials, which can then be cast into final products in the metal caster. Okay, smelting iron. A temporary solution is to use metal scraps from an abandoned communication station. Once that is exhausted, you need to start mining iron ore. However, smelting ores produces slag that needs to be dumped out to the terrain. Other products work similarly to iron. You can choose which recipes are enabled in the furnace by clicking on them. An enabled recipe is shown with a green border around it. Okay, so I just saw that. Coal is needed to smelt ores. If you don't have access to coal mining yet, you can use a coal maker to produce it from wood. Wood harvesting. To harvest trees, select a truck. And click the Assign to Tree Harvesting button. That's this guy down here. You can also prioritize trees for harvesting using the tree designation too. Oh, I see. Yeah, we assigned the truck and then we picked out the area. We've got only one truck doing the tree harvesting. I gotta think that's probably fine so far, right? Yeah, this thing's already fully supplied. We are, delivering this charcoal by hand. We could, let's see, just out of curiosity. Yeah, I think I blocked off the output on this, kind of on purpose. Was there a way to show this? Maybe not. Show the inputs and outputs again. I can't remember if there is. Maybe when I click transports, yeah. So we could, if we wanted to belt this coal around, we probably could. Not sure we need to. I don't think it's worth it. Can I click that arrow and get anything? I guess I don't even have like a transport that would allow me to do that belting. So, all right, so that's that. Let's see. I think we're off to a decent start here. Pause it one last time. I think we'll wrap this episode here. What have we done? Quick recap. We built our research lab. We chose to do it way off on land that we're unlikely to bother building on because it's not level. We don't need to make trips to this, so kind of may have saved ourselves a little space versus building it over here, where this is the kind of our prime real estate to build on. We plunked down our first farm. Probably get maybe one or two more over in this area as time goes on. And then eventually we'll probably move those off somewhere. Who knows? And then we started our first little iron processing plant. We're using scrap metal off of our abandoned communication station here. It's a bit of a trek to haul this metal way over to our smelting operation. But we chose to place it here because all of our iron, where we're going to be doing most of our iron processing, is from this huge deposit here. So we chose to put it close there to save diesel, not have to build these things 2 or 3 times. Still need to build our casters, but we've got charcoal temporarily being built so we can mine coal. That's all up and running. We got some research selected. The trading dock is next. That may provide us a lifeline in case we run into problems. We'll see if we use it or not. Then we got a couple more things selected in the tech tree. The vehicle mining, that's going to allow us to get the coal and potentially the iron going, and then construction, right? Construction parts. That allows us to build construction part 1s. So not a bad start. Place your bets as if we're going to be able to get to this top tier before we run out of resources. I'm super anxious to see how much oil we have here. I don't know that there's a way I can do it until we, I mean, you can eyeball it and kind of tell there's just a little bit. Anxious to get that going and diesel production. For in my experience, the food is critical. Your colony dies out. It's super hard to recover from that. You don't have food. And then diesel is probably the second most important. Once we start powering things up and our cars run on diesel, that's going to be super important. Those two are probably the two things I look at the most. And then maybe construction parts, and then maybe maintenance. So yeah, off to a good start. Again, this is Captain of Industry. It's the beta release. It just released this morning as I record this. I'm not sure when this episode will post, if it'll post on release day or maybe a day later. Some of that depends on YouTube. But yeah, glad to have you here with me on this journey. A special thanks to Glidercat patrons and channel members. You guys make this content possible. Really appreciate your contributions to the channel. Anyone else wants to contribute, there's links in the description to do so. And yeah, I will see you all in the next episode.